Okay, my name is Leon Snobel. I'm the corporate I.S Manager from Burlington Technologies, and we've been associated with Asigra for about a year and a half, and use the services of Eternity to help us do the implementation of both Asigra and our EMC products as well. We selected Asigra out of 3 vendors. We looked at Commvault with Data Domain, we looked at Asigra with EMC, and we looked at Quantum. And we chose Asigra primarily because of the ease of use. The other solutions were far more complex. We had 2 people that were going to support up to 5 divisions, and we wanted a solution that was going to be simple for these 2 guys to manage. The environment that we were in before we purchased Asigra was we are in a multi-platform environment. We use NetWare, Microsoft, Linux, and HPUX. And we had a backup solution in place for each one of those platforms. So we were using a OmniBack for HPUX, we were using Backup Exec for NetWare, we were using OmniBack. It was a very unmanageable solution. We have 5 divisions, and we were doing approximately 2 backups to tape at each of those divisions. So the operator was responsible for putting tapes in on a daily basis, logging or keeping a log, and then checking the next day to make sure the backups were running. So for us, it was very unwieldy, and after the backups, we then had to have a whole procedure for bringing the tapes and storing them off-site for security purposes. So we were looking for a solution, basically, that just was going to simplify the running of 5 divisions with 2 different backup products in each division, using a multitude of tapes. And we were paying a lot of money for tapes. We were using Ultrium tape drives. What we did with our Asigra in order to get rolling is we had a pretty daunting task of taking these 4 divisions and rolling out the Asigra software. So what we did was we chose one division, which was our main division, implemented the system there. We had some assistance from Eternity to set it up more in terms of not necessarily Asigra, but more in terms of setting it up to interact with our EMC SAN. Once we set up the main division, we then went to a second division, which was our replicating site, which is our Centennial division. And then we went to a 3rd and 4th division, bringing those online as well. So we didn't do everything all at once. The advantage to us, which we kind of looked at, is we could simply choose one division, and then we can go in, and even though we were still running the other backups, we could then implement slowly Asigra. And today, we now have Asigra running over all 5 divisions, and we're spending nowhere near the same amount of effort that we were doing before. Now our backups run automatically. Me as a manager get a report every morning, and I can see whether the backups worked, how they were functioning, and if there were any hiccups, then I can report them to the IT staff, and they can proceed and take any steps necessary. Once our Asigra solution was in place, it now allowed us to do a lot of other things. We never had to spend a lot of time running around trying to do our backups, and then also looking at the other side when we had to do our restore. The restores now are very simple for us to do. We take a look at the generation we want to do, and we can now restore a file or a directory within seconds, where before it was taking us hours in some case, because we had to put on a tape. Sometimes if there were multi-volumes of the tape, it would take at least a half an hour for each tape to go by. Now, as I mentioned, it is just a very simple transaction. We don't have to have backup operators anymore checking logs or putting in tapes. We've got rid of all of our tapes. It's a very nice, simple solution, and it's just allowed us to move forward into other areas. And in fact, we've gone through a situation in a downturned economy whereby now we're just slowly coming out of a very tough year for us, and the backup has helped us just keep things very, very simple to allow us to move forward. And in fact, we've just now been acquired by another company, a U.S. company, and we think that we're further ahead than other divisions in this new company that acquired us.